just like, yo, man, I'm really trying to show people the difference between a rapper and an MC. And a lot of people that hear that terminology, MC, think an MC is just somebody that can rhyme good or has good lyrics, or is like a classical type of hip hop. But that's not what an MC is, man. That's part of it, but really the definition of an MC, in my opinion, because I don't think it's in the dictionary that representing hip hop, especially Webster's dictionary. But you got to be involved in your community, and you got to be involved with the people and what they do in the interest of the people, especially in your community. You can't just be somebody that's loved by your community because you made it out as an MC or a rapper, because that's not good enough. People gonna love you if you make it out. You know what I'm saying? And you become successful. Like the people that you grew up around are gonna automatically love you and be proud of you. So that comes anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that makes it out of a situation and betters themselves, people are gonna be proud of them. So that's not good enough. That comes by default. Like, it's the work you do that makes you an MC. I'm involved in my community a lot, and the people around me that live around me know I work in my community. I give charity in my community. I do a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? And not just, that type of stuff, but just like really being involved. Like, and I'm not talking about in negative type of ways either, because the negativity has nothing to do with being an MC. Negativity and the struggle and the terrible things that happen in any given community, especially in Black and Latino areas and neighborhoods, that's just an effect of just being Black and Latino, or being poor, or being whatever, or just dealing with the stresses that you deal with as being just a regular human being. So, being an MC ain't about selling dope. It ain't about shooting people and doing negative things, poisoning your people. It ain't about degrading your women. That's an effect of the experiences that you may grow up in. Like, I grew up in stuff like that. Like, I knew pimps, killers, gangsters, drug dealers, all kind of sorts of people. And that might come through in my lyrics, but that's just an experience. So I can use some of that stuff as examples to teach something else. Like, I'm not about to be out here glorifying drug dealing and killing people and shit like that, because why would I glorify that? That's an effect of the condition I grew up in. And there's lessons in that. And that's positives in the most negative shit you can possibly believe, or negative shit you could possibly think of. It's positives in it, but that's not what being an MC is. Like, you gotta be involved and proactive. Like, you gotta understand, as MCs, we direct descendants of the Black Panther movement, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Noble Drew Ali, Mosiah Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Egyptian pharaohs. We can go way back, even further than that. We're direct descendants of a lineage that's been around forever. And we're just continuously telling the story, and our story and our position on the earth and beyond. But that's just the storytelling part of it. You could be good at rapping. When I started rapping, I fell in love with the craft, and I became really good at it. That's anything you do. Anything you do that you practice at and you fall in love with it, you can be great at it. I'm not talking about from a monetary standpoint, that's an entirely different thing, but you can be good at anything you practice at. So that's not what an MC is. That's part of it. But You have to continue the lineage of your ancestors that helped you get to this point. Hip-hop wouldn't have existed if people didn't fight for it. You got to understand, us as black people, everything that we have right now, this car I'm driving, the clothes I'm wearing, the way I'm talking, everything is an effect of something somebody fought for and shed blood over. So I know that in MC, and for me to be able to call myself an MC, somebody fought for that. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was no Public Enemy, there would be no me. If there was no NWA, Rakim Allah, Slick Rick, Africa Bambaataa, Zulu Nation, Nas, Jay-Z, there would be no me. Outkast, Scarface, you know, on down to the 8 Balls, the MJGs, all everybody. If there wasn't a collective voice to continue the culture, there would be no me. So in order to pay respects, I have to pay respect to the people that I exist in space with, my community, my people. That's what being an MC is. It's not about the best lyrics. You can rap about whatever you want to rap about. I've read poems that were the most hardcore, grotesque, gruesome stories I've ever read, or poems or stories or short stories or whatever it may be. But that doesn't make it not poetry, because it might not be something you're into. But a poet is a practitioner of the entire craft. A poet reads other poetry. A poet understands great poets. It allows them to write. Storytellers, boxers, basketball players, whatever. You got to be a practitioner. You just can't just do the thing. You have to be completely involved in it and immersed in it. And that's the difference of a rapper and an MC. A rapper is just somebody that's using this thing as a tool to obtain maybe money, fame, whatever, you know, something not related to the actual craft itself. You know, that's not an MC. You can't just call yourself an MC and not follow the code. And that's what I want people to understand, because I think the word MC is dying because there's a lack of knowledge of self in our own community. And I think some of that is coming back, you know, and that makes me happy. But, you know, it's certain elements in this hip hop thing that we love so much, and we look at it as a scapegoat out the hood and out of the struggle, and it is. But, you know, it's also levels to this. Like, it's you have to learn the craft, you have to learn the masters, you have to be taught from the masters. I've been taught by people that don't even know I exist. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the masters. They're the Leonardo da Vinci's of hip hop. So I have to learn from them. Whether it's been they involved in the community, or they might have changed the social policy, political policies and all of that just by speaking. And, you know, I learned from that. How can I further that? You know, that's what being an MC is. It's not about money, the chain, the girls. That's a part of it, and that's not necessarily a bad part of it. Just don't overindulge in stuff like that, because it's hollow. But, you know, that's a part of it. The negative talk, all of that. But being an MC, you have to be involved in your community. You have to be involved in a people, in a goal, and it has to be deeper than music. It has to be a deeper goal than just a song. What does the song mean? What is it gonna do for people? What is it gonna do for you? And what it does for you, what are you gonna do for other people when it does something for you? You know? So I just want people to understand that. Like, you know, the more notoriety I get, the more I try to use it to the advantage of my collective struggle and my people's collective struggle. And people talk the talk, whatever, you know, shit make you feel good, keep talking it. But Minister Farrakhan said something profound when I was listening to him the other day. He said they'll pay you to walk the walk. He said they'll pay you to talk the talk, but once you start walking the walk, that's when they shut you down. So you could talk all the talk you want. You know, you could say all of the Malcolm X quotes and Pan-African quotes and just, you know, regurgitate regurgitate. Sorry, I'm reading something. You can regurgitate all the Dr. Umar Johnson speeches that you've heard, but if you're not walking the walk like they've walked, you're not doing anything. You know, you're not doing anything. So I know that was long-winded, but I just kind of wanted to get that out. I'm gonna reiterate that in a later video, kind of in a better way. I was driving, trying to pay attention to the road, but that's what being an MC is, man. And I think it's important for young cats and even people in my peer group, late 20s, early 30s, to understand that. You know, I had a talk with a friend of mine months and months ago, and I asked him something about, you know who Africa Bambaataa is? And he was like, nah, I never heard of him. And he's like older than me. He's like 29, 30. No, he might not. We were probably around the same age. But, you know, I just kind of felt like, damn, man, like I really, it's not, I mean, I didn't like shun him for it, but it's like, man, you kind of got to know who that is, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's just my rant. I'm going to start doing more videos like this. I don't got douchebag sunglasses on. It's really bright out here, so. But yeah, MC, rapper. So, this is EmceeLogic signing off. Peace.